Hell yeah.
And we had a loss this week, man.
We did. One of the worst losses ever
in
in
rock
music.
and roll. Eddie Van Halen.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. Like, can you remember the first time you ever listened to Eddie Van Halen?
I did. I do actually. My cousin Eric's huge into Eddie Van Halen. Actually has his model guitar. Well, built it him and his dad built it. It's really cool. Like, you can't tell the difference. But I remember always learning Van Halen songs with him, and just listening to it. I'm like, holy crap! Like, this music's amazing.
Yeah. Man, I can't really think of like exactly when I first heard him, but like I remember hearing like Pretty Woman for the first time. And it was cool. Pretty Woman was a cool song to hear because I already known about Roy Orbison.
Mm-hmm.
So to hear like the different a different take on it was cool. And plus, it's Eddie Van Halen jamming out on the guitar, so it was like it just brought this whole nother like type of sound to a straight up classic rock song.
And it seemed like at that time everybody wanted to work with him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, heck, Michael Jackson even worked with Van Halen.
Yeah, man, beat it. Yep. And he was like, it's funny because he was actually I remember hearing something about when he showed Michael Jackson that riff initially, the riff for Beat It. Yeah. He was kind of nervous because he didn't think Michael Jackson was gonna like it, and Michael Jackson was like, heck yeah, and it became one of Michael's greatest hits.
Yeah, and it's funny too. It's like when you listen to that solo. If you've heard Van Halen songs, listening to that solo, you can definitely tell that's Eddie.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I remember I used to like Michael Jackson's music a lot, like back in middle school.
Still
and stuff.
catchy.
Yeah, and in fact, I didn't get it, but my brother had got the Thriller album, and it took me a little bit to really get into it. But two songs on that, obviously, that I really did like were Thriller and Beat It.
Yeah.
And
I actually like Beat It a dot better, actually, the more I listen to it.
But I had no idea that that was Eddie Van Halen. In fact, I don't even think at that time I really knew who Eddie Van Halen was. And then, like later on when I figured it out, or when I heard about, that was him, it was like, yeah, that really makes sense. It just the especially the guitar solo,
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, like once he starts playing, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
makes
Eddie.
sense. Yep. Yeah.
Everyone has the debates too. Who do you like better, David Lee Roth's Van Halen or Sammy Hagar's? And then there's the third singer. I think his name was like Gary something.
Dude,
I forgot his name.
There's no comparison. It's David Lee Roth. That the original lineup is Van Halen, man.
I'm in between. I like them both the same, to be honest. I'm like in the middle because
no. I'm not trying to say anything bad about Sammy Hagar. He's a good singer and everything, but
to me it's like AC/DC. You know what I mean? How Bon Scott established them, Brian Johnson took them to the next level. I think the same thing with Van Halen. Dave helped put them on the map, and then Sammy took them to like a whole new level.
Yeah. I would say that Sammy Hagar, Van Halen, should be called Van Hagar. I mean, it's it's just like it's different. It's not the same band.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing with Black Sabbath, with Ozzy,
Ronnie James Dio.
And Ronnie James Dio.
Nothing wrong with Heaven and Hell, but it to me, it just wasn't Black Sabbath. I think that was a good move they made, Heaven and Hell.
No, absolutely. Ronnie James Dio is
the godfather of metal.
Well, completely different than Ozzy. Like Ronnie James Dio, when you listen to Ronnie James Dio, you're like kind of in a trance of like you think you're fighting dragons, and
you have the whole Conan vibe going.
Yeah. Like you're a knight, walking in the valley, and you're like
the holy diver thing.
You're taking everybody on, Where with Ozzy is kind of more like
He has that
that
bluesy,
dark,
dark.
yeah, that real that what Black Sabbath was in the beginning, just like real dark and kind of talking about some real shit, like
Oh, I
war
remember on
and-
the cover of a Guitar World magazine, it was Tony Iommi and Eddie Van Halen right next to each other, which was really
that's
cool.
a cool picture. I'd have to see that.
Yeah, they has them back to back. It's
Tony-
funny because it shows you how short Eddie is.
Oh yeah. Tony Iommi's another great guitar player too. I mean, he had all of his fingers, but he was missing the tops of the I believe it was the two middle ones. I could be wrong about that.
He was missing the top of them.
He was missing like the fingertips.
It was funny because he wanted to quit because he knew. They had an idea Black Sabbath was gonna start taking off. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were like in between, I think, where it was successful, but they didn't know how successful it was going to be. And what happened is that his mother made him finish out his 2 weeks to be professional.
Yes. Yeah, I remember hearing that. That's funny. Yeah, that's actually a cool story.
And sure enough, next day that happens.
Yeah. And then he was gonna quit, and then I believe he saw some guy playing the guitar with I want to say it was his feet. Like this dude was playing guitar with his feet, and Tony Iommi saw that and he was like, "Well, if he could do it, all I got are my fingertips missing here. Like I could totally do it,
Mm-hmm.
And that
I noticed him
that
use
kept,
his pinky
kept him
and his
going.
pointer finger a lot when he
yeah
does power chords. I've noticed that here and there.
yeah. I remember like when I first started playing guitar and kind of learning about the pentatonic scale.
Mm-hmm.
He did something with the pentatonic scale because it was like he kind of had to change the way he played in the beginning. So he developed like this 2-finger kind of like version
Mhm.
of the pentatonic scale.
A lot, it's interesting. When I was experimenting with, Egyptian scales, gypsy scales, Baltic scales and like trying to put it in metal music I was writing at the time, you actually, a lot of them, you can play a lot of them with only 2 fingers. I've noticed that.
Really?
Yeah, there's actually a guitar player, and I can't think of his name, but he only has 2 fingers, and he does the gypsy jazz thing beautifully.
That's interesting. Yeah, you start getting into all those scales and everything. You can really
Yeah.
change your sound.
It's amazing what you can come up with, and being a guitar player, that's one thing I love is making my tone. And I think that's what made Eddie so great is that Eddie was the kind of guitar player, he was like, to me, he was the ideal rebel guitar player. I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do it my way.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to make my guitar tone, I'm going to make my own scales, I'm going to do things the way I want to do it. And the way he tweaked his amp is like crazy. And he took a humbucker out of a Les Paul and put it in a Fender Strat.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
yeah. Then the Frankenstrat.
A humbucker.
Yeah, took out the Les Paul humbucker and put it in the Fender Strat,
Man.
which became the black and white guitar.
Yeah, that's cool. Like I'm just thinking about the 2 different sounds.
Yeah, and
know.
it's like, during that era, you've never seen anything like that or heard anything like that.
You ever see that video? I think he's backstage of some concert that he was doing, and he's doing something with his amp. He's got his tremolo and everything, and he's moving the tremolo and like creating like these really like basically like an elephant. I believe that he was even saying like, hey, I can make an elephant sound, and he was like, wah! And like like yeah, he was saying, oh yeah, and this is this animal, and he
That's Eddie Van Halen for you, man.
I think he did a horse. He was like, yeah, and it was cool, and it was just that was part of his style.
From what I hear, Eddie was a little difficult to work with here and there, from what I've heard. But in all of his pictures, like, you see him smiling. And, I think that's one of the things people love about Eddie is that he's just always smiling, He's doing what he's doing. He loves it.
Yeah, man. He loved what he did.
I remember seeing him on 2.5 Men, too. He was on an episode of that.
Was he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Charlie
man.
couldn't have. For some reason he couldn't crap for some reason because he was lying to his fiance, and he was having guilt, and something psychologically made it where he could not crap. He was literally constipated for quite some time actually,
That's hilarious.
and when he finally got rid of that guilt, it turns out that he ran to the bathroom in a studio because he was kind of talking to his ex again. But when he told her, like, if I had the guts to tell her, you're terrible at singing and I'm marrying this girl instead, he was able to have a bowel movement. And when he ran to the bathroom, out came Eddie Van Halen with his guitar. And Charlie's like, you take your guitar to the bathroom? Eddie has a little portable amp. He's like, yeah, you never know what you're going to come up with. And he's just shredding.
That's cool.
That's Eddie Van Halen, brother.
I feel like I've heard about that, but I don't think I've ever seen it. That's
It's funny.
Man. Wow. Yeah, I gotta check that out.
I remember him, Steven Tyler, and Slash. They were on 2.5 Men,
Yeah, I've seen the Steven Tyler one, I think.
where he makes fun of his lips.
Yeah.
And Slash. Oh no, Slash was on Anger Management.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's just walking a bulldog. He's like, yeah, that sucks, man. I guess you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Anger Management was the other Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, it was
show,
after.
Right?
It was after 2.5
Yeah,
Men.
what they
got
did like
kicked off.
They did like 2 seasons or something.
Yeah, which I hear Anger Management was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious. I remember watching those.
Which, good for Charlie for coming with that show because I might get a lot of hate for this. I did not like 2.5 Men with Ashton Kutcher. I have nothing against Ashton Kutcher.
It was just different.
To be in that role, I don't know. It's just.
There was a raunchiness that he just didn't have.
Yeah, not only that, it's like Ellen was the pushover, the Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. And Charlie just had that sarcastic, asshole vibe to him.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ashton he just could not fit that role. Again, nothing against Ashton Kutcher. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
It's just I just think that was the wrong move to put him in something like that.
Absolutely. There was a like and Ashton Kutcher was kind of more of like a like I don't want to say a loudmouth because he's not a loudmouth, but it's just his like energy is it's different. Like whereas Charlie Sheen kind of had that more, like I said, raunchy,
in some ways
sarcasm. Like
in some ways he reminds me of a Chris Pratt in Parks and Recs. An idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's a good not a nice way to put it, Isaac, but.
Well, you know what I mean. Just
No.
playing
No,
the idiot. Know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Because I think that show's funny too. Parks and Rec.
Oh yeah, Parks and Rec. And
I know me and my girlfriend got to
that's
start
actually-
watching more of that.
Chris Pratt. You ever see like the bloopers for that show?
No, I have not. I have only seen like 1 or 2 episodes. I guess I'm gonna start watching with my girlfriend though.
A lot of stuff that Chris Pratt does in that show is improv. Like
Really?
they just let him go at it, and there's
Isn't Aziz Ansari in there too?
yeah. There's a lot of cut or a lot of bloopers where Chris Pratt will like try something, and because it was so unscripted, nobody knew what he was gonna do, and everybody would just start cracking up. So there's a lot of good takes that like get ruined just because people are like
Laughing.
Yeah, people just go nuts because they were like, "Whoa, I wasn't expecting you to do that." Yeah, man, it's funny.
I actually have a Parks and Rec shirt.
Oh yeah.
Shawnee, Indiana.
Oh, Pawnee.
Pawnee, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Shawnee.
Yeah, it's same thing. But
I was thinking of Lake Shawnee.
oh,
It's a haunted amusement park in West Virginia because I've been watching a lot of videos on haunted stuff. October, the old October vibe going.
Excuse me.
By the way, since it is October, what can our viewers be looking forward to coming from Vault Media?
Some scary games, man. We got to do it. I'm gonna have some nightmares, but I'm not gonna lie. But
So
we
we're
gotta
gonna
do
give
it for
ourselves
you guys.
nightmares for the viewers.
So, this video needs to get to like 50 likes.
We don't need no likes. We're just
and
gonna do
we're
it.
just gonna do it anyways. But we want to see that you guys care and that
Actually,
you guys want to see some good content.
you guys can
So,
comment too. What scary games you guys want us to play?
Yeah, we have laptops.
We will play
and stuff
anything.
now, so we have no excuses anymore for not finding games, because we can get them on the internet.
Yeah, pretty
So,
much. I mean, this month might be rough for us. We might have nightmares if we're doing
Yeah.
like a scary game after scary game.
I'm gonna pee my pants. I'm just It's
Don't
it's gonna
don't
be
sit
bad.
by me when we play. But
But-
what are
Go
some
ahead.
games like they can look forward to? Example, like what are some games?
Well,
Possibly.
definitely Five Nights. We gotta
Yes.
do some Five Nights.
Slender Man, I would say. Maybe some of the Resident Evil games.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Um,
So yeah, tell your friends about us, and if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe, so you can check out this content that's coming up. And yeah, we've been kind of off to a rocky, well, not a rocky start, but we haven't really been keeping up like we should. But
I would
hey,
say our schedule's been random.
hey, that's just kind of what happens. Reality gets in the way of things sometimes, and yeah, but we're trying to keep it going. We're trying to post videos weekly.
We will stay in touch though.
Oh yeah.
We do also post on our not as much as we should. We also have an Instagram. We have a Facebook. We don't have a Twitter. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so you'll be seeing us on Facebook and YouTube now, obviously, but we do have an Instagram, just Vault Media Podcast.
We do
or-
post some random videos there, letting
What
you.
is- Oh, I don't got my phone on me, but yeah, I think it is. I think it's just Vault Media.
Yeah, it's Vault Media.
Yeah. So check that out, and
We usually will post here and there, not
we
much.
haven't posted in a minute.
We haven't, but sometimes
The
we.
last one was Fernandez.
No, we posted. No, it was on our story.
Me and
Like,
you were on a story.
yeah,
but-
that's which I was gonna get to actually. Sometimes it's not guaranteed, but we will post like the night before a video, or maybe a couple days. You know,
Yeah.
letting informing, hey, we will be streaming on this day, at this time, so you can look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely.
So we can actually try to do that more. Maybe
we definitely need to start doing more of that.
maybe weekly eventually.
Yeah, but hey, on another note, I wanted to get into another music topic here.
Ooh.
Something that I did not think was going to happen. I thought that my chance at ever seeing this band,
Was dead.
or even buying another album from them, I thought that it was non-existent, and it has become a reality again. AC/DC.
Oh, I remember
is
you telling me
coming
about that.
They just released a track, and they are going to be releasing an album soon too.
An album? Are you serious?
A full-blown album.
No way. I remember you
The
telling me
full-
they're back, but
The
I
original
not expect an album.
lineup, except Malcolm Young, obviously.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Malcolm Young.
Well, one
But
of
man.
the greatest rhythm guitarists ever.
Dude. AC/DC, man. Just like I said, anybody that knows me knows that, like, in 6th grade.
Anybody that knows
especially-
rock and roll knows AC/DC.
Yeah, but like I'm just talking about for me. Anybody that knew me back in the day in middle school knows that, like, AC/DC was just like a huge part of my playlists, and yeah. So just the fact that they're coming back is great. I am gonna definitely be buying the album for sure, and then if they go on tour, which I don't know if they are, if they even have anything set up, if they go on tour, I will be seeing them, no doubt.
I will be joining you.
And we will be going then. So
we will be
sweet.
there. Hey, we may even post some videos.
Yeah, well,
No, not videos. It's like, active on our Instagram or
maybe some photos.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, that'll be cool to check that out. I've been actually kind of getting back into AC/DC again. I haven't listened to them in a while, and I was listening to Highway to Hell. I was listening to that whole
was a
album.
great song.
Yeah, it's a great song, but the album is great too.
Yeah, the album itself is
They
good.
got Touch Too Much, Girls Got Rhythm. I think Shot Down in Flames is on there too. Yeah,
I don't know if that one's on there or not.
Yeah. Shot Down in Flames, dude. Yeah, man. Great news to, in the
Some sad news.
Yeah. So, but hey,
But you know what?
life.
The good thing is
moves on,
that
man.
Eddie may be physically gone, but his legacy is still here, which is what's great. And I
Yes.
think not a lot of people, humans, get that. So while it is sad, it's very sad what's happened to Eddie Van Halen. You know what? His legacy lives on,
Yeah, and
which
you know
which
what?
is great. Which is great.
And that's kind of that's a good point, because that's kind of why musicians kind of are in the business in the first place, right? Is to create create things that'll last a lifetime
Yeah.
and even afterlife. You know,
Yeah.
their
He's
music is
pretty much immortalized his name.
as long as people are still listening to music, people will be going back to Eddie Van Halen and all the other greats from the past.
Yeah. It's just a shame Yeah, he was 65. Yes, everyone passes when they're older, but I still think he was too young.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, for sure. It's sad. Like I said, it's sad to see anybody go, but we look at musicians and political figures and we idolize them and we see them as gods and we're like, yeah, nothing could ever happen. And then
when they're human,
and when it does, it kind of hits you and you're like, wow, yeah, like these people, they're just human beings,
mm-hmm.
and they have expiration dates just like anyone else. And it's crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it is. But again,
especially when you were into their music, you're like, man, like we will never see anything else, from that person, unless
and that's what makes it sad that he is gone.
Yeah.
There is going to be no more Van Halen stuff. Period. Now,
unless he has some stuff in the vault. Kind of like with Jimi Hendrix, they're always releasing stuff from the studio that he never released.
Honestly,
maybe we'll see some Van Halen.
Jimi Hendrix, AC/DC, all these influential figures. I definitely put Eddie up there.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Do you have a top 5 favorite guitar players?
My favorite?
Yeah. Or just
I do actually.
Do you?
Does that include now are we talking about that's all they do, lead, or
no, just guitar players in general, like no certain genre or anything.
You should know who my number 1 is.
I should, but I'm not sure. Oh, James
Hetfield
James
from Metallica.
Hetfield? Yeah, man, it's really hard for me to say, just because
easily. Well, I mean, overall, the guitar player is James.
I'd have to say Hendrix.
Hendrix is number 2 for me, actually.
I've always been
Eddie's
been
number
into his guitar player.
number 3 for me.
Eddie's number 3.
Yeah. Then
man, that's
it
a hard
would
one,
have
dude.
to go. See, I don't know, because I have different categories too for modern guitar players.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But I would say after Hendrix, it probably would go. I would have to say Slash.
Slash? Yeah, Slash has got some cool stuff.
Slash, and then it's probably. I don't know, dude. I'm always stuck between.
Yeah. Dude,
Tony Iommi. That's
dude,
that's
I
who
was
it is.
just gonna
Tony
say,
Iommi.
There's so many guitar players, dude. I mean, I can name,
Actually, I'll reverse it. Tony Iommi is my number 4. Slash is number 5.
And God, he said, let's do a Zelda Breath of the Wild stream on Friday.
I'm cool with that.
Maybe.
I
we
know
need to start
there's a
playing
new
some scary games though too. So.
Yes.
Yes.
I know there's a new Zelda coming out. Actually, Cadence of Hyrule comes out October 15th, and I have it pre-ordered. It's like you probably haven't heard of the game. It's it's a crossover between Crypt of the Necrodancer and Legend of Zelda.
Hey, speaking of games, I actually have it right here. We picked up some Crash.
Yes, we did.
Crash Bandicoot, and
it's about time.
We'll probably get a stream into that, but I'm also gonna probably play that off stream.
I know you will.
But yeah, that's another great title from the past.
That's on my list.
Oh yeah, dude, I
might steal Mark's.
I remember the first time ever playing Crash was at my grandmother's, in Chicago, and it was one of the first times I ever even played the PlayStation. My cousin had one, and we were upstairs and we were playing Crash, and it was actually Crash 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and the first mission to me was always super funny just because
yeah
they had the turtle the turtles with the spikes. And when you jumped on them, it turned into like a trampoline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first Crash game I ever played was Warped.
Oh.
My cousin Eric had it.
Dude, Warp was so fun. I never beat it.
We beat that game so many times.
I have the original, and then I have the
Cortex. Right?
no the
Bash.
No, what was the remaster? What was the remaster called?
Insane.
Crash, yeah. Insane
Trilogy.
Insane Trilogy, yeah. That I have those. I have both of those copies, and I'm kind of messing with both, like the original and the new, just to kind of see.
You just can't go wrong with Crash, dude.
It's so interesting, man. Like, well, not interesting, just cool to see the graphics from like the '90s Crash games.
The '90s graphics.
To what they did with it now. Those remasters are awesome. They did a great job with them. Like, yeah, I'm very happy with those. Just even like like you said, the what did you call it? The polygon
graphics.
Polygon graphics.
And it's funny because a lot of those PS1 games, the 3D ones, they really don't age that well. A lot of them.
It's true.
They do not.
I played Spyro a little bit, and I bought the remasters for those. But I'm not really. I don't really remember the graphics too much for that. I would assume it was pretty close to Crash, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's about the same era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Gotti just said Insane Trilogy, so it's N and then Sane.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember one of the ones I played for the PS2 was The Wrath of Cortex. That one was good.
Yeah, Crash 2.
It was.
No. That was the Xbox, right?
No, it was on PlayStation 2. The Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah. I never played that one.
That one was great.
Was it? Was that more was it more open world, or was it kind of the same?
It was the same formula as Crash 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
But that's when Crunch got introduced.
Yeah, you see it? Man, I never played that one.
Dude, it's great. Definitely play it.
I think I have it. But yeah, I never played it. It's one of those games. Sometimes especially with disc replay and the Second and Charles that's out here now. You go to your little local game stores, and sometimes you'll buy a game.
Well, now we have a third one like on our hit list now.
Yeah. So, sometimes you go to those places and you're like, oh, okay, I don't have this one, and so you buy it, and then sometimes it sits on your desk for like months, and then you're like, yeah, I haven't played this. I need to get on that.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just me because I'm just a collector.
No, dude, that's me because I still have not played my WrestleMania game yet.
Oh no. Yeah, sometimes it's just kind of like you just kind of lose track of time.
I've just been busy, dude.
Yeah, you get busy with things, and yeah.
But I still do love my Genesis.
Yeah, man. How many games you got for that now?
I don't even know, to be honest with you. I got a drawer full of them.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, that's how I was with the PS2. And you've seen my PS2 collection.
Yes.
I got that whole bin.
Yeah.
And I got games out of the bin too, like that I've bought within the last year.
I probably be getting a lot more Genesis games now ever since I went to that store you told me about. Because
what's that one called?
The Gaming Outpost, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just bought Batman and Robin from there, which is a Genesis game I've been looking for like crazy. And usually on eBay, it's kind of an expensive game, but I got it for a pretty decent price there. And, I saw Space Harrier 2, which I will be going back for. And I remember you telling me about it, and you said their Genesis collection wasn't as big as Disc Replays, but I've noticed they have games Disc Replay does not have. And I think their Genesis selection is great.
Yeah, man. Support your local retro shops because
yes.
You'll find some really cool things that'll give you a little blast from the past,
Yeah, if we're gonna go into quarantine again, no better way than play video games.
Let's hope not, man.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Hey, speaking of that, did you see? I saw this article that was talking about cats, the cats might have the answer to our to coronavirus.
I read that too, actually.
Something with the. I think it's something with their DNA.
Yeah.
They have they have antibodies already. And yeah, they were looking at that. I guess like I said, they have antibodies, so they're thinking they're thinking that there might be something that they could do with that. I don't know if I want to inject myself with cat DNA though.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not too keen on that. It's gonna be like SpongeBob. You know, I was a teenage Gary.
No, I'm gonna wake up the next day with like claws and I'm gonna be like hissing at people.
We're gonna be like the end of that.
Cat
Meow 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 meow
Yeah.
meow meow.
be Catman instead of Catwoman.
Yeah, Catman.
Yeah, dude. You'd be jumping off buildings and stuff.
Oh man, we're not gonna be the Red Hornet anymore. You're gonna be Catman.
Red Hornet and Carlos.
Yep.
Oh gosh. So what else is new, man?
Nothing really. Just studying for upcoming boards. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, right. Just
I'm actually glad you called. I like from the time I woke up. Well, I went on a little run, kind of clear my head, but I think I've been up. I got up like around 9, and from then, besides that like 45-minute run I did, from then all the way till like 4, I did nothing but practice questions. And I'm still gonna probably do some more when I get home.
that's good, man. Yeah, keep that up. Keep going with
It
that.
sucks. It
Yeah.
definitely sucks.
Yeah, man. I
But
wish,
you know what?
What's up?
When I start working full time as a nurse, I can get more video games. And I'm not gonna blow all my money on video games though.
No, it's hard, dude. So sometimes it's you see that one game that like you've been looking for a while. It's funny, those games that you look at that you're looking for, and you never find them. They always end up showing up when
You can't either afford them,
yeah,
or you shouldn't.
yeah,
get it.
right. Like you're trying to save up for something.
Like with
else
the freaking
important.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
I go back and forth, but now I'm pretty convinced I do want one because they still are making games for the Dreamcast, and they're actually cool looking games. Actually,
Yeah, man. That's pretty cool. Why don't they do that for other systems?
they do actually. They do it for the Genesis.
Yeah. But like, why
It's
not like the Super Nintendo and like?
They
know.
do for the Super Nintendo here and there,
Maybe-
not as much as the Genesis. I don't know why
Are they
do.
legit games though? Or
They're
are they just
legit from
kinda-
companies.
Wow.
It's third party, but it is licensed by Sega. You know, so it can run on the Genesis.
Right. Didn't they start making Genesis consoles again?
That I do not know about. Like I know one Genesis game I do want to get which is new because it came like a year or two ago. It's called I think it's called Tanzer, and it actually looks badass.
Yeah. No.
The problem is with these games, it's $40.
Oh, hey, you're paying $60 right now. You're gonna
Yeah,
be paying
but for
70.
some games you can, like for example, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, I can get that game for $40, which I do want to get that game so bad. And I don't even like wrestling games anymore, but the way that game is, it's like a battle royale kind of game where it's not even a wrestling game. So it looks really, really fun because I got out of wrestling games a long time ago.
I got out of wrestling a long time ago.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. I could go on and on about that.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I do like rewatching the WWF era days, especially the WrestleMania DVDs.
Yeah. I was over here telling you about that earlier, and I'm sniffling and yeah. You know, I don't see too many like wrestlers nowadays that really catch my eye. Like everybody just kind of has normal names.
Who is your
You know,
favorite wrestler of all time?
The Undertaker. The Undertaker, without a
Nice,
doubt.
dude.
Yeah, I don't even have to think about that.
Mine's easily Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah. I think I could say my second would be Hulk Hogan.
Oh, you have to love the Hulkster. I
Yes.
think my second favorite is Sting from WCW.
Oh.
Sting.
Yeah. He's still wrestling, I think.
Yeah, he was on TNA for a while.
Yeah, he was on TNA.
I actually want to get the Hart Foundation figures, like in the box, which I found them on eBay, but I think it's like $80 for them.
who is that again? That would be Brett, Jim Anvil Neidhart,
Yep, and like I forgot the dude. It's like a promoter or something.
and then was Owen Hart a part of that too, or was that later?
He
on?
was, but then he kind of became his own thing, which is Owen Hart.
Yeah. Yep. I was just watching a video. I think it was, Stone Cold Steve Austin, like before the accident. Stone Cold Steve Austin faced Owen Hart, and Owen Hart injured him. Remember, I don't know if you ever heard.
Yeah,
Stone
I heard
Cold,
Owen.
Stone Cold, he injured his spine, and that was during a match with Owen Hart. And him and Owen Hart, after that match, they never were really the same. And Stone Cold Steve Austin, never really, he never had, he wasn't, he didn't hate the guy, but he didn't want to work with him ever again. And then Owen Hart, on the other hand, just felt awful about it, and he was almost he wanted to apologize, but he was almost
What do I say to you?
Yeah, he was almost nervous too. And Jim Ross, he actually was talking about it, Owen Hart always wanted to apologize, but never got the chance to. And when he was saying when Owen Hart passed away, that what could have been, just all ended, because they never really made up.
Yeah. And Stone Cold, I mean, he's one of the most down to earth guys you're ever gonna meet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You met him?
No, but you watch his interviews.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a down to earth guy.
You ever see his Conan O'Brien interview?
Yeah.
where they're drinking the beer, and what's his name? What's the what's the sideman's name?
I forgot.
Conan's partner.
I forgot, dude.
I can't think of his name either. But he's drinking the booze, or he's chugging the beer down, and he's got his mouth, and he's what is that called? Like when you he's swallowing it without closing his mouth, and everybody's like, yeah, he was chugging. Yeah, and Stone Cold, obviously, he's got his beer, and
no one can drink beer like Stone Cold, dude.
he drops half of it, but still it's impressive that he just pounds him down. He said obviously it's when he would do that, there were times where he would legitimately get a little
Drunk.
boozed up. Yeah.
Dude, no one can drink beer like Stone Cold.
Nah, nobody could drink beer well, I don't want to say his name, but there's this one guy I know that could put down some beers.
I thought you were gonna say Andre the Giant.
That's true too.
He has been declared one of the greatest drinkers to ever live.
Yeah, they said
he drank 106 beers in one night one time with Ric Flair.
Well, not only that, dude, he ate like a champion too.
Yeah,
he was just a bigger guy. He needed that energy.
Yeah, I remember watching the documentary on Hulu, which is a great documentary. When he was filming when they were filming The Princess Bride, the producer asked him, "What did you drink last night? What did you drink in a day?" And he said, last night I had 2 bottles of cognac, 3 bottles of wine. And they're like, "You must have been drunk." And he's like, "No, I wasn't drunk. I was a little tipsy."
Yeah.
And it's it's ridiculous, but
he was a bigger guy.
Well, the sad thing is, towards the end of his life, dude, he was drinking because he was in pain, which is what's sad.
Yeah. They say that. They say the Big Show kind of has problems like that.
Yeah.
That's
the Big Show.
Yeah.
Wasn't he just called Giant or something like that?
Yeah.
On WCW.
Yeah. He went by his real name too for a little bit, I think.
Which was?
Paul something.
I don't remember that.
Or was it Paul?
Big Show.
I could be wrong about that. But I know he went by I'm pretty sure he went by his real name for a little bit.
I remember playing that game with you. I picked Giant one time.
Yeah.
That game was amazing.
WCW versus
NWO World Tour.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good game.
Even the intro is badass. The way Giant's calling out the NWO.
Yeah. I like that they have the full lineup.
Yeah.
They got X-Pac in there. Who are some of the other guys from the NWO? It's Kevin Nash.
It's crazy how you see It was like you see WCW games and you see WWF games, then you see
Yeah.
WCW.
Razor Ramon. Man, you ever see old school like WCW matches and stuff?
I did see a couple clips where Sting was taking on the NWO because
Yeah.
Sting hated the NWO.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I think WCW, like in that era, there was a lot of legit beef. Like, and not even just WCW, but like in that era, like you had Macho Man and Hulk
Did
Hogan.
he go to WCW?
I don't think the Macho Man did, but Hulk Hogan did. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
there was like it was Hulk Hogan.
Well, they say that's what led to WCW's demise,
Was
like poaching all those wrestlers.
well, what hurt them was the amount of money that they were giving the wrestlers. All of those wrestlers left WWF because WCW was like, hey, like we're gonna
We'll
give
pay you more.
We're gonna give you money and we're gonna give it to you now. Like it wasn't like I think WWF was like not holding out on them, but like they had to wait a little bit longer for their money. Like WCW was like, hey, like you're gonna do a match and you're gonna get paid out the door. And they were wasting.
And they were like hemorrhaging money towards the end.
They were literally just giving money away to the wrestlers. And these wrestlers, they benefited, but like they also got into some heavy shit. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I remember that was like one of the demises of WCW because they were just hemorrhaging money at the end.
Yeah, they were
And
doing
finally
that and,
Vince bought it from Ted Turner.
yep.
I remember watching that clip where Vince says in his voice, what I would love to do is line up every single one of those wrestlers, look them straight in the eye and say, "You're fired." Oh, Vince hated Ted Turner.
Yeah, that was legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was legit. Or at least they say, you could.
Well, he said in an interview, he was like, "What's your thoughts about Ted Turner?" He's like,
Yeah.
"What does there say? He's a son of a bitch."
Yeah, but the thing is sometimes it's kind of hard to believe certain things
Yeah.
because it's like even now you'll see like old school wrestlers, they keep beefs going even though there's no beef,
Yeah.
and it's like sometimes you're like, wow, like I thought that was fake. Like
Yeah.
they do a really good job of making you like actually believe like that there's something going
that
on.
the beef was real.
Yeah, like Jerry Lawler with the comedian. What was that comedian's name? There was a comedian back in like I think it was the 80s. And he went on like he would do like this thing where he would wrestle women, right? Yeah, and
You're serious?
and Jerry Lawler like called him out and all this stuff, and
Jerry the
like,
King Lawler.
him and this comedian, they made it look like there was like legitimate beef between them, but it was all part of the act. Like this what was his name? Andy something. Jim Carrey played him. He was like, there was a movie about him. It's like,
I can't think about
yeah,
it.
Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman was his name, and yeah, he actually him and Jerry Lawler scripted this whole thing, and when Andy Kaufman died, because Andy Kaufman died of cancer, Jerry Lawler still kept the beef going. Like he basically was like, yeah, I'm glad he died and all this stuff, but he was faking it. But
Yeah.
it was all just part of the act, because Andy Kaufman wanted that. He wanted everybody to think that Jerry Lawler actually hated him. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a really crazy thing. If you ever get a chance, look it up. It's interesting.
Oh, I will look that up.
Yeah.
It was funny though, watching some of those wrestling rivalries. It was funny.
Oh man.
Especially with Vince. Vince's relationship with his fans was unique. If you think about it.
I really like The Rock and Hulk Hogan. Their beef that they had. Not even the beef, but just their storyline.
Didn't The
That's a
Rock
really cool
and
storyline.
Steve Austin have beef, kind of?
Yeah, well, I think they like all those old school wrestlers. They all had beef with each other at some point.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold just
You gotta love
tormented.
Stone Cold.
He tormented everybody. Like at one
Who
point,
hasn't Stone Cold stunned?
yeah.
He stunned Santa Claus, for Pete's sake.
I used to always laugh like If you were at the end of a match, if you were there with Stone Cold and you were drinking a beer with Stone Cold, you pretty much were you were gonna get stunned. You were gonna get stunned. There was no doubt in
The
my
Stone
mind.
Cold
I
Stunner.
remember always watching. Is he gonna stun him? Is he gonna stun him? And then he'd stun him, and you would just start cracking up because you were like, I knew it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I remember he stunned Linda McMahon.
Yeah.
They were drinking a beer, and Linda McMahon's like, oh, casually drinking, and bah, he stuns her. Oh,
You know
that was
something funny you notice? Look at Randy Orton with his RKO. You'll notice two differences. Randy like sprawls out and does the RKO.
Yeah.
I mean, like actually jumps out like he's laying down. He does it where Stone Cold just sits down with his leg strap. But I think it's because he has knee problems. Why Stone Cold can't do it like the way Randy Orton does.
Well, probably that, but also Orton kind of has the whole Viper thing.
Yeah.
So he makes it look like he's
The
slithering.
RKO.
Yeah, he makes it look like he's slithering when he does it. That's just part of his act. He's
Yeah.
he's good at it, man.
It's funny too. He's like this, all wobbly, and then he'll just do it.
Yeah.
Where Stone Cold, I mean, he'll just get you out of nowhere.
That's actually funny you bring that up. I was watching videos of wrestlers like overdoing the like getting hurt,
Mm-hmm.
or like when they get stunned or just any special move like they overdo they oversell the move. And actually, I think one of them was the Stone Cold Stunner. Stone Cold stuns Randy Orton, or sorry, actually it was The Rock. He stuns The Rock, and The Rock like he gets stunned, and then he kind of jolts back like for no reason. Like he does it very fluidly, but it was just like it was completely obvious that it was like an oversell.
Yeah.
He like jumps back and he like falls out the ring. And it's like, really? Like you went a little too far there. But it makes for funny content,
I remember watching again the Andre the Giant documentary, which it's a great documentary. I definitely recommend it on Hulu.
Oh yeah.
My
Is it on Hulu now?
Yeah, my girlfriend was just it's like a new one for 2019.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I see that was on TV first, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That was
But
good.
my girlfriend watched it with me, and she's just laughing at the way all these wrestlers were talking. Like one was like, "I love to hurt people, and I'm gonna hurt you very, very bad." One was like, I forgot which star was. He's like, "I'm gonna put my fist in his. Do you know what a knuckle sandwich is? Salt, pepper, lettuce, tomato." And especially when it came to Macho Man. Oh, she just died of laughter.
Yeah.
Everyone in this stadium is gonna witness
the Macho Man.
Yeah, and listening to Hulk Hogan, she looks at me, she's like, "Babe, what is this clownery?"
Dude,
I'm like, "This is testosterone."
that's Hulk Hogan, man. Hulk Hogan.
I think Macho Man was even more funny, but apparently,
yeah.
dude, Andre did not like Randy. Did not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a funny story in there where, remember he'd have baby all over him. He was taped up, and he'd come up to Andre and be like, "Hey, brother, what's the plan?" Andre looks at him and says, "No baby oil, get out."
Yeah, he was like you know how like the Undertaker was like the back he was like a leader out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Andre the Giant.
Oh, he was. Everyone respected Andre.
He was like he was the leader.
Well,
of the
Andre
group.
could make your career. You know what I mean? Because let's face it, Andre was gonna win.
Yeah.
Like he was undefeated until Hulk Hogan, but he wanted to give Hogan a setup for his career, because Andre and Hogan were really close friends.
Yeah.
But if Andre liked you, he can set up your career. Because even if you can get a few licks on Andre, it's like, wow, you actually got a few hits in on Andre.
Holy crap! You just stunned the Giant.
If he didn't like you, God help you.
Yeah. He actually if he didn't like you, he would actually like stun you. Like he would do something.
Yeah,
in
like
the
Big
ring
John Studd. Oh, that was bad.
Like he would actually do something to hurt you. Like
he did that to the
to
Iron
let you
Sheik
know like what's
too.
up. Oh, did he?
Because the Iron Sheik was like, I'm going to show them who is the real giant.
Yeah.
And then in the back room, the Sheik was like, hey, Andre, you think you let Sheik slam you? And then Andre just screams, get out. And he just freaking murdered him.
Yeah, man. You didn't mess around back then.
No, you didn't. But that's to me, that is the golden age of wrestling. Hands down, when it was WWF. And whoop.
That's all right, man. We'll pick it up after.
Yep.
Yeah, man. They don't do it like I said. I just don't. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't see any like personas per se anymore.
No, not anymore. Not like you. That's what I mean. They had personality back
like you
then.
had. And I'm sure that they have personality, but it's just different now. They kind of just go by their own names, or maybe they're stage names, but they're just like, you know.
I think if
Conan.
you grew up with like if you grew up like in our era, like the Attitude Era and all that, and even watch some of WWF, it's hard to kind of look at the new performances. I'm sure it's still doing well.
Yeah.
WWE, I'm sure it's still doing very well.
Like you got guys like
Roman Reigns, for example.
Well, Roman Reigns, that's a stage name, obviously. Like there's some that are like they're a little bit.
Ronda Rousey stole Piper's thing.
Yeah, but there's just some people.
Rowdy.
Like there was.
Okay, it's 3 hours. It's kind of cool.
I'm trying to think so Cody Rhodes, you know, like he just went by his own name,
which is not bad because look at Dusty Rhodes. He did that.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes. I mean, he's an icon.
But then you got people like, you know, like they'll just name themselves like Sam Jones or something like Sam Johnson. You know, it's like
it's not the same. Plus, you have a lot of
Ron Test. Yeah, my name's
You have
Ron
a lot
Test.
of UFC guys and people in WWE now.
Yeah, you do.
I know Lesnar went back.
They're I mean, they're probably in cahoots with each other somehow.
Probably.
Vince McMahon probably owns part of UFC that we don't know about.
I doubt that, but because I know Dana White owns it.
It's actually I remember hearing something or reading something about how, you know, even though wrestlers, what they do is it's staged. Like
it's still a lot.
Don't be fooled. Like they are athletes. Those dudes, like when you see I never understood how somebody could say, oh, wrestling is fake. Like yeah, it's staged, but what they're doing.
You still have a 300-pound muscular guy flying in the air.
Like Brock Lesnar doing those backflips back in the day, doing those moonsaults off the top rope. That wasn't fake, you know. Like
that's why that's why they get injured.
He actually got a concussion after doing one of those, because he was a big dude doing moonsaults, and he like I think he didn't land right. Like he actually landed like on his head, and like. Or like he hit his head on the way down.
A wrestler, who was in like the territorial era, Hayabusa. You know, he got paralyzed. Tried doing a backflip, landed on his head. That was it.
Yeah, like the pile drivers. Like I was just talking about Stone Cold. Stone Cold got hurt because Owen Hart didn't
have his legs like in between.
He didn't have that, and then when you do a pile driver, you're supposed to give them like enough room to either like tuck their head somehow, or like there's enough headspace in between, like your where you're stunt or where you're pile driving him, and he didn't have that because he went like legs down. So he basically when he slammed down, he went straight down on his butt.
Ooh.
And doing that, there's no headroom, you know, for the person to duck or you know, or have enough space so he doesn't get hurt. So Stone Cold got hurt that way.
You know what was cool?
That's why the Undertaker is like.
Good at that.
He's like one of the only people that will, like towards the end of like that era, meaning like when was like the last time he fought WrestleMania? 2017, 2016. But like he was like one of the only people to do pile drivers anymore, because he just was like one of the only ones that knew how to do it properly. It's like the pile driver is like a really dangerous move.
It is if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, like you could kill somebody, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what is cool? Isn't there like a new wrestling league now, like AWE or something like that? AEW, it's something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember the last thing
Chris Jericho's in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say one thing I did watch, although it was clearly staged. It was meant to be more of a theatrical kind of thing, but it was really cool. Was Lucha Underground by Robert Rodriguez? Like that was cool.
Yeah, I heard
Lucha
about
Underground was really cool, dude. I
Rey
highly
Rey
recommend it.
Mysterio was on there, right? He was on there for a little
I
bit.
think so. He made like a guest appearance or something. I'm not really sure, but dude, Lucha Underground was great. Highly recommend it if you're a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
And like the locker room scenes is like an actual movie, so it's clearly staged,
Yeah.
but the matches are real. But yeah, Lucha Underground, highly recommend it.
All right, you heard it from the man
Actually,
himself.
guess who is on Lucha Underground? Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Ah.
Yeah, so the son of Chavo Guerrero.
Were they? So are they luchadors then, or is
Yeah,
that,
the
that's
Guerrero
just-
family is luchadors. Like that is what they do as wrestling.
Really?
Yeah, it's a wrestling family.
Well, yeah, they were wrestlers, but they were they were actually part of like the whole luchador scene.
Yeah, I know Chavo Guerrero Jr. is
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like Eddie Guerrero was he I don't think he really he
Was
might
he on ECW? I think him and Rey Mysterio were on ECW.
they might have been, but Eddie Guerrero I think started he started in Mexico
Yeah.
performing down there.
I
So
love
yeah,
the Guerreros.
that could be. I don't know. I don't know really what classifies as well because I know they wear the masks, but like as far as like what the style
actually,
pertains to.
Chavo does not wear a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Because
Lucha Underground.
luchadors are more like high flyers.
That's what it's known for, high flying wrestling.
Chavo never. I mean, same with Eddie. I mean, they did the frog splash.
Well, I think
But-
that's what was cool about Eddie, mainly is that he kind of blended Lucha and American together.
Yeah.
And I think that's what made him so cool.
Dude, remember Sin Cara?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Like Rey Mysterio, he was like the main high flyer of WWF for that time, and then WWE like what that had to have been like 2013, 2014 when Sin Cara came onto the scene,
Yeah.
and he would do that thing where he would sprint down to the ring, and I mean there must have been some kind of like spring or like trampoline, and he would jump up into the ring from the bottom he wouldn't even jump onto like the side of the platform. He would do like a straight leap into the ring. I always thought that was so
That
cool.
was crazy, dude.
And then his high flying moves were just like they were fun, man. They're cool to watch. But those guys are the ones that get hurt.
Yeah, the Lucha Libres.
Yeah.
I remember even MTV had tried starting it, Lucha Libre Masked Warrior. MTV even had their own wrestling program. I forgot the name of it, but it could not touch
Yeah.
WWE.
There was like some backyard stuff there for a little bit too, ain't it?
Kind of, yeah. But MTV, I mean, they had a ring, they had it indoors. But it was like, I don't know, it was like something, I don't know how to describe it. Something, I mean, we were teenagers watching WWE. I mean, it was like if you took punk rock and WWE, that's what it was. But the production was like it was good, but not as nearly as good as WWE.
Remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
Yes, that's supposed to come back actually.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So I remember watching that like
on,
crazy.
On MTV, right?
Yeah, it's a shame it never got released on DVD. Like, what is going on or Blu-ray? Because I would buy it in a heartbeat. The collection.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Might be like a copyright thing or something. But Celebrity Deathmatch, dude, it's amazing.
A lot of those shows, like even Beavis and Butthead, like they kind of get bought out and then like they switch over to like different networks, and it's hard to find stuff.
I remember watching that.
It's hard
all
to
the
find
time.
releases of them because
Copyright.
yeah, exactly, like you just said.
Copyright's evil
that's
in some
crazy.
cases.
Oh yeah, it's very, very much so.
I remember watching those. I remember it'd be Beavis and Butthead, then Crank Yankers, and then Celebrity Deathmatch. Not in a row, but that was kind of the group I always used to watch, even though I shouldn't have been watching.
Oh yeah. I used to like it was Beavis and Butthead, Celebrity Deathmatch, and
Where
then,
my dogs at?
yeah, dude. And then what was the other one that would always pop on? Well, South Park came later.
Andy Milonakis was on MTV.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
show was great. Stanker Vision.
No, I think that yeah, that was it. I just Beavis and Butthead and Celebrity Deathmatch were like the two
Yeah.
more raunchy shows. That
I remember they would say too, like before, they're like, anyway, it's just Clay. Chill.
Yeah. My dad would always let us watch it, and then my mom would like walk in. Mark, why you letting them watch this?
Because it's just Clay.
Yeah. Good times though, man. Good.
Yeah.
Man, I remember when they brought that back. Remember they brought it back for like for a season.
Yeah. I remember Tony Hawk versus Bam Margera. That was so
Oh.
funny. When Don Vito ate Tony Hawk.
They had Rosie O'Donnell versus it might have been Oprah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else did they have on there? What was the dude's name? Carrot Top. Carrot Top was on one of them. Yeah. They Metallica. Metallica was on there.
James Hetfield versus some other singer.
Yeah.
I remember how that ended. No, they both died.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Mankind came in. And he's like, I'm going to do. Oh, speaking of wrestlers, Mankind.
Oh,
He's like, time to do a cannonball.
Mick
James.
Foley, dude.
Yeah. James is like, ah. And they both die. Or all
man.
three of them die. That was great.
Mick Foley, dude. That guy's got a very interesting, like background. He was just like he was just some kid making videos of him jumping off of, like the roof of his house.
Mankind. He went through so many. Mick Foley, Mankind, Dude Love,
Cactus Jack. Those were like the main ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think my two favorites was actually just Mick Foley and Mankind.
Oh yeah. Dude, remember there was a WrestleMania, or not? Was it?
It was WrestleMania, him versus Edge.
No, I'm talking about the Royal Rumble when he came out as like all of his personas. Like he came out.
I remember that.
I think he came out as himself, and then like a couple minutes go by, and like
This is Dude Love, or
he's Dude Love, and then Dude Love would get eliminated, and then Mankind would come out. Yeah, and everybody was like, "What? He already had his chance."
You remember when he faced Edge in WrestleMania?
I do.
Dude, that match was nuts.
Yes.
Edge, he let Edge spear him because he had barbed wire wrapped around him. I'm
Yep.
like, dude, this dude is crazy.
How about his Hell in a Cell versus The Undertaker?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Man,
Dude, there's no way he was going
He-
to take out The Undertaker.
he let like I remember seeing stuff on that match. He like straight up told Undertaker like, "Hey, choke slam me down onto those tables," and Undertaker was like, "Dude, are you crazy?" Like, like and Mick Foley was like, "Just do it, man, just do it." And Undertaker
He can
was like,
take
"All right."
punishment, Mick Foley.
And then he had the thumbtacks on the ground. That I think actually one of those slams was like an accident. Like he wasn't supposed
Was
to.
it?
He wasn't supposed to get slammed on those tacks, but like it just happened that way. Yeah.
Dude, The Undertaker, you would not want to mess with that dude, the size of that dude's arms.
Oh yeah. Steroids.
Crazy.
How about, dude, you ever see John Cena? I don't know how he looks now, but like when he was still wrestling,
Yeah.
that dude's arms, man.
Rib. He's in the
Jeez.
Hall of Fame now, WWE Hall
His
of Fame.
arms are like as big as my torso, man. Like,
It's crazy.
man. I mean, that's just roids and
Everybody loved John Cena.
oh yeah. You know what? His fan base was like, it was very interesting because it was very like hot and cold, and you would see it at all the venues. They'd be like, let's go Cena, and then right after that you would hear them, Cena sucks, and John Cena would just loved it, man. He'd get so
He
he'd
didn't
get
care.
so pumped up from that because he was getting a reaction from the crowd. Yeah, it's
He did the one thing Hogan did. He had quick lines. He had personality.
yeah.
Not saying the wrestlers didn't, but he definitely did.
And Cena, he kind of had that whole Hulk Hogan persona. What Cena would get his ass kicked in matches. They'd have it like look like he was about to lose, and then all of a sudden he'd get this spurt of energy. Just like Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan would do the same thing, and you'd get all pumped up like, "Oh shit, Cena's coming back!"
I remember that beef with Edge he had, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That must have been like right before he retired, right?
No, it was like I don't remember when I got into wrestling, but Edge was facing a match with Ric Flair, and Edge was being kind of dirty about it. Then Cena comes out of nowhere and just starts beating the shit out of Edge.
Oh, that must have been when he was like a heel or something.
Yeah,
like a bad guy. Yeah.
Mhm. But then when there's like a group called the Nexus,
Yeah. I
like
hated Nexus.
Cena formed a whole brigade, and Edge was on it, and Chris Jericho. I forgot
Yep.
who else, but Brett was on that.
Randy Orton, I think, was a part of that. Dude, I
remember Brett was too, which was so cool.
Nexus was kind of cool in the beginning, and then I thought
They were trying to be like the NWO. I feel.
I thought that they went on for too long with that
Yeah.
with that story, and the guy, I can't remember his real name, but he went by Wade Barrett. He was this British guy. Like, at first it was like, okay, yeah, like this guy's pretty evil, and then they just kept going with it, and every day, every Monday, they'd beat the crap out of somebody, and it was just like, all right, like these guys aren't that tough. like I got this feeling like it was just getting so boring.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was his name? The guy with the redhead. He had long hair at that time. He was like the rock and roll guy. He would come out like,
I don't remember.
he was like, oh yeah, he had that like rock and roll personality. But he, like, to me, he wasn't a good bad guy. Like,
No.
I didn't get anything out of him. Like, I didn't have any feelings towards him except like feeling annoyed.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause it was just like, okay, like you just beat, like, I remember they would do like they tried to do the whole legend killer thing, like Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, like, dude, like, you're not even that tough, like, you're not giving me like any tough guy,
Yeah.
vibes or whatever. But yeah, it was cool for what it was, though.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice when it finally ended. What they had
Yeah,
that was like in I think that was WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think that's when it was over.
Him and John Cena versus Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Well, we've been going for almost an hour.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Well, not almost. We're at an hour and 7.
Nice.
And Gotti was our only person that commented,
That's fine.
which is all right because he's just
Well,
looking out.
Those of you who have viewed, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for hanging out with us.
Thank you. I hope that we weren't too boring, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyways, hey, we're gonna definitely stream some games here soon, and
Scary games.
scary games.
Boo.
And Gotti just said Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity is coming out November 20th.
Yes, cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Pre-ordered that.
There's some cool stuff coming out, and some stuff that I've bought recently. So yeah, this has been another episode of Vault Talk.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and we will see you guys
Latest.
laters.